welcome to or welcome back to the Wilding Astro Tarot YouTube channel. My name is Jade Wilding and it's a pleasure to have you here on my channel for today's pick a card tarot reading, asking if anyone has been having some sexy fantasies about you during Scorpio season, and what those fantasies might be. It's definitely the perfect time of year for another one of these readings. These ones tend to be very popular of mine, given that I have a background in sexology. I just feel like maybe I read a bit deeper into it, and also definitely the Scorpio vibes should help with this one. So for today's reading, we're going to do a few things. The first thing we'll do is use our little jar of magic to find out some characteristics, either like personality characteristics or physical characteristics about this person who might be having some fantasies about y'all, and this might be who you expected when you clicked on this reading, or it might be someone else. So coming in with an open mind to hear some descriptions about this person. Then we'll get the basic themes of what they're imagining using our astrology deck. And after that, we'll expand a little bit more using the tarot deck. So we might even ask the cards why they're maybe fantasizing the things that they're fantasizing, but we'll just see what comes out. And then finally, we'll use our oracles and affirmations for anything to finish off with. We'll leave this one kind of up to the universe to decide what it would like to tell you about this thing that you've had a reading for. So yeah, that's going to be the basic layout of today's reading. If at any point the messages are starting to resonate, I would love if you can hit the like button and leave me a comment if you have the capacity to do so. It really helps to support me on this channel, and I'd of course love to hear from you. The subscribe button is also there for you if you'd like to stick around for more astrology and tarot content like this as well. And I would love to see you join and become a wild thing. This tarot reading is sponsored by my online tarot course, Unlocking the Wisdom of the Tarot, which launches at the end of this year. So if today's video inspires you to learn more about the tarot, you can sign up now for an early bird discount to do this course with me. So that's also there for you. And if you do want to know more about the course, I'll link the official announcement video somewhere below. And if you make it to the end of the reading, I'll also be inserting little clips there for more info as well, if you change your mind after you've had a reading. But now that all of the background plugs are out of the way, it's time to get into today's reading. Okay guys, time to get into the reading today. For today's reading, you're going to choose either pile 1, 2 or 3, wherever you're drawn to most. If you're drawn to more than one pile, you're going to start with the one you're most drawn to and then check out the second or even third pile afterwards, remembering that potentially there might be more than one person who's been fantasizing about you, or your reading might be a mix of the general readings or the messages that I'm delivering in each reading. So really just using your own intuition and discernment there. If you're not immediately drawn to a pile, I recommend closing your eyes, maybe pausing the video on the little freeze frame that I'll leave you in a moment, taking a few deep breaths, then opening your eyes and seeing if your eyes are then drawn to a pile after you've had this little kind of reset to yourself. If that is not the case, potentially there might just not be a reading for you here today. So I'd welcome you to subscribe to the channel, and then hopefully I'll do another reading in the not too distant future where there might be some messages for y'all. So just keep your eyes peeled the next time I'm doing a reading like this. Potentially your messages will be there, and that's totally fine, totally normal and expected for general tarot readings. I do offer multiple interpretations of the cards throughout the readings if I feel more than one dominant energy coming through, but I do usually speak mostly to the main energy, so you will need to use your intuition and discernment along the way for general tarot readings, as always. So yeah, take everything with a grain of salt. Some things might be for you, some things might not be. So yeah, it's important that you're really bringing your own intuition along. If you want something more personal and specific for you, channeled specifically for you, and yeah, maybe not having to work as hard to discern what's for you and what's not, I do offer a few kinds of readings that you can request with me. The first is a single question tarot reading where I can clarify something that might be on your mind that might come up during this reading. That's super simple, super easy, and usually you get a fairly fast turnaround with this too, like usually about a week later. By about a week later, you'll have a response in your emails. To book this kind of reading, all you need to do is head to the link in my bio, make the $50 AED payment, leave your question and email attached as a note. And then I will get back to you ASAP with your reading. I do most of the reading over email, like type it all out, but I do film myself pulling cards for you and just like a few thoughts as I'm pulling cards for this reading type. So you kind of get a double reading, I guess, in a way, like it's partially typed, partially written as I'm partially spoken, sorry. Secondly, I offer combined astrology tarot readings that are much more detailed for these reading types because I spend a lot more time on them. Spend like usually a whole day on one reading. These readings do mean that you need to make a request and you'll have to wait in the queue. But the advantage of these readings is that you can build basically whatever reading you would like from the ground up. So for this reading type, you need to go to the request form and fill out all your basic information, and then add in anything that you'd like to add in, leave out anything that you'd like to leave out, so that you can really customize a reading for whatever it is that you need right now. And this reading will be partially a written astrology reading and partially a video tarot reading. So from there, after I get your request, we'll arrange everything over email. We'll arrange an invoice and a rough idea of like when you can expect to get in, when you can expect me to read for you. And finally, I offer astrology only readings that are also very detailed. It comes with a written astrology reading, and for this reading type, I also do a interpretation video, which can be nice to have someone kind of going over the main points, the things that you really need to focus on and take away. So for this kind of reading, what you're going to do is also go to the reading request form. It's very similar to the combined astro tarot reading, but it's just more astrology specific, and you can get more specific astrology readings as well. So for that one, you can customize your reading, and we also arrange it from email after I receive your request. But now that all the instructions, disclaimers and plugs out of the way, it's time to choose a pile, either pile 1, 2 or 3, and wherever you end up, I'll see you there in a moment. Hey there, pile 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful crystal, then this reading is probably for you, but as always, bringing along your intuition and discernment to your reading. We're first going to use this little jar of magic to find out who has been having some sexy fantasies about you, get some characteristics of their physical appearance, their personality. Can we please have who's been fantasizing about pile 1, please? Feels like it. Okay. Person who's been fantasizing about you might have fair skin, might be a fairly ambitious person, might like to take a few risks. This might be fire sign energy. Also innovative, so that's more fire sign energy as well. Got some nurturing, so this is water and earth energy. Their personality archetype might be very angelic. There might be a real sweetness to them. However, they may also have a quite critical side. This could be critical to themselves or others, or a bit of both maybe. They're highly intelligent. They have a fairly heart-shaped face, so this is usually quite pointed, defined chin. They have fairly arched eyebrows, maybe fairly average in height. Okay, so we also have kind. Finally, they might have heavily lidded eyes, so their eyelids might be one of their dominant features. So hopefully at least half of those resonated, so you know you're in the right place. And if you are, let's go ahead and find out what some of the basic themes about what this person is fantasizing about is. Here are some of the basic themes about what pile one's person is fantasizing about pile one. We've just been saying there's lots of fire energy here. Could you please have So this person's full of a lot of passion for you, with this fire element being the first card to come out, and it seems like maybe there's some shadowy sides of this person. There's a lot of stuff in their unconscious that maybe have turned into their kinks somehow. Like, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like, a lot of their fantasies about you are coming from a very kind of shadowy side of themselves that feels like they kind of have learned how to kind of play with it and make it maybe a little bit more fun rather than just super intense and traumatic. It seems like they kind of get that energy out and work through a lot of that energy through sexual play. Some of their kind of kinks might have to do with either mummy issues or daddy issues, or potentially both. This person might have a bit of stuff going on with family stuff with this Capricorn 4th house axes. This is paternal energies, maternal energies, very much the home, spiritual life, early upbringing energies all here. So this person probably has some stuff going on. And also we've really got a lot of energy in the middle section of the body, specifically the reproductive organs, kind of lower stomach area and breast area. So this is kind of giving me I want to go to town kind of energy. If you're more that divine feminine, this person's probably just really wanting to step into that pleasurer energy, and kind of take the reins and just essentially blow your mind, especially with the Scorpio energy coming out. This is very, very sexual. And it seems like this person may really just want to love you up real good. I'm getting that the majority of people here, probably this person is more on the mummy issues energy, might be a boob man or woman, or boob person, based on kind of this double Cancerian energy coming out. This person also might like mind games, role play, and or have a very have a fantasy about maybe very either animalistic sexy time, or on the other end of the spectrum, very pure, very heartfelt and innocent. It could even be both. This person might like to play in extremes, which the fire energy can. sometimes talk about, as well as Scorpio energy can talk about kind of life and death and polarity and things like that as well. So could be both potentially, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of fantasies going on for this person, and there's just heavy magnetism towards you with these energies. So yeah, it seems like they really want to explore and play with y'all, but we'll get some more detailed messages to find out anything more potentially and or why this person, anything more about the person's fantasies or why they fantasizing this way. So this person's been having these fantasies with you because they TBH have a little bit of mummy issues. Like that's really their bondage in life. That's their, like, where the root of their kind of problems and attachment seems to be coming from with this Devil in reverse and Three of Swords. This Three of Swords is all about separation from specifically God, but it kind of repeats itself when we're separated from the mother at birth. So that's one of the interpretations of the cards, and the Devil is about our bondage to, like, anything that like kind of keeps us in painful energy. So yeah, there's this like pain when it comes to separation from the mother. Potentially there was some like distance or neglect, or just like maybe a bit of a lack of warmth. And so yeah, this person kind of has something to prove. With this Knight of Cups, Ten of Cups energy, they're like really working to kind of prove their love, their passion. Yeah, I think maybe if their maternal caregiver was a little bit distant, like they might have coped with that with going like kind of harder into the kind of kind energy. I don't know if it always paid off, but it probably paid off at least some of the time, if that's kind of where they go with it. And so yeah, they're just, it seems like they're just trying to bring this like intense, it's kind of giving a little bit people pleasing, like trying to like win very feminine energies over a lot, with like a lot of mostly like pleasing them. I would say there's also a dark side of this person that might look for a little bit of power and control as well, which yes, maybe some of this subconscious stuff where there's a little bit of tension between kind of two desires. I feel like they might appreciate the loving side in themselves a lot more, and maybe this side where they're like looking for power and control is like maybe a little bit scary to them, I would say. They might not be as receptive to that side of their energy. But yeah, I think that's just part of their work, like not judging either of those responses. And not thinking that there's a right response and a wrong response necessarily. Yeah, I think it's definitely the distance with a maternal caregiver that's given them this kind of pursuit and desire for someone in a very sexual way. It kind of feels like they're trying to change the past, which I'm not saying that playing out these sort of kinks don't do anything towards that. Yeah, I just think that they might be expecting a lot from this kind of play, and maybe, yeah, there's just a little bit more to it, a little bit more work that will need to go into it. Because like we've got this Ace of Wands, and this is kind of that sparking of inspiration, creativity, desire. So it does seem like their desire is sparked by distance, regret, loss, pain, maybe not having enough, especially from or their perception of not enough from a maternal caregiver, especially in terms of like kind of warmth and love. And yeah, I think they've got a lot of kind of mental stories about themselves and about all that might be going on in the subconscious a little bit, that kind of their fantasies are trying to work out for them on a subconscious level. So yeah, like no judgment, it kind of is what it is, and it's cool, like go for it. But yeah, it's kind of nice for you to just be aware of where they're coming from, especially if they do tend to be in one energy and then have this other side of themselves. I think it's just nice to know that they're kind of two sides of the same coin. They're kind of coming from the same place. And yeah, it's just good to know what to expect with this person, especially if you haven't engaged with them before. Yeah, so that you kind of know what to expect. I think that's about all I have to say about that. Do you have any last words? Any last things you would like to say, please? So we've got actually a fair bit coming out. Okay, so there's definitely an intense attraction between the two of you. I think this person might have a little bit of struggle and resistance just when it comes to this kind of very light and dark energy that we've been talking about, this polarity that we've been talking about. Yeah, there's definitely a side of themselves that's like really wants to kind of make love and be like much more sweet about it, but then there's definitely also kind of a darker side of themselves that there's just like a lot of pain there that they're trying to work through. So yeah, just like I think the cards just want you to know that this person's growing, they're realizing stuff, they're working through some stuff, and yeah, maybe try not to judge these two things, even though it might be very easy to, because yeah, they're two sides of the same coin, and I think judging them is gonna make it worse. I think that might reactivate some of their stuff, some of their kind of mummy stuff. Like potentially they've been judged a lot in the past and they've been just like super criticized. So yeah, just be mindful of that, like being super open to all of them, not just one side of them. I think will be important in making them feel safe and loved and stuff, especially if you want to kind of connect with them in this way. I think this person's working through a lot of subconscious fears, maybe around like being enough, abandonment, having power, having control, things like that. So just know this person's just like doing shit. And yeah, like this person's very much on the right path to dealing with everything in a healthy way. So yeah, like I think all the play is positive, it's not negative, it's not coming from a terrible place in this person, and yeah, this person seems to be on a good path to just end up in a good place. So yeah, if you're wondering about how things could potentially turn out, I would say most likely pretty good. Okay, so I choose to think positively because I know I am a manifestation of my own thoughts. So interesting that card came out after we've just been talking about all this. So yeah, it's important that you keep like that kind of curiosity, that open-mindedness with this person, because probably your energy will have a much bigger influence on this person than you think. I would say they're very sensitive, and they're probably going to be able to be fairly in tune to what you're really thinking and feeling. So yeah, making sure that you're being personally responsible for your own thoughts and feelings, and yeah, really bringing benefit of the doubt and a lot of kind of generous thoughts and feelings towards this person, thinking as positively as possible. Yeah, that will be really important for the majority of y'all. But I think I'm going to leave that there. It's been a pleasure reading for you. Thank you so much for making it all the way through. I really appreciate it. And until I see you again, ciao. Hey there, pal 2. Welcome to your reading for what people are fantasizing about you, and who is. We're going to start with this little jar of magic and get some characteristics about who this person might be that might be fantasizing about y'all. Can we please get some descriptions of who's fantasizing about pile? Two, please. This person who's fantasizing about you might have a fairly diamond shaped face. So this is like usually quite chiseled cheekbones, with quite a pointed chin. Have grey eyes or blue eyes, so just like fairly fair eyes potentially. They might be a bit more chill, a bit more passive, sort of reserved. So they might come across as a little bit shy. So maybe a bit neat. They have eyebrows that are quite fair or fine. Might be quite clever and innovative. Yeah, very clever, genius. This person's just smart. Okay, so they're smart in a very creative way. Be quite responsible. Okay, they probably take a lot of effort in their appearance. They might have very sculpted eyebrows. Yeah, this is someone very curious and loyal. This person sounds cute. Like, I love this for y'all. Can we please have the basic themes about what pile 2's person or people are fantasizing about, please? The basic things about what they're fantasizing about, please? So this is definitely giving very romantic vibes. Like, I'm seeing them visualizing the two of you maybe waking up together every day, maybe like making love in the mornings together in like a very like connected romantic way with this sixth house Libra energy. Potentially like acting as if it's like the last day on earth for y'all, and just like having this really intense lovemaking session. We've got like Scorpio and 8th house energy, so this is like double, like very sexual energy, but it's also very deeply emotional intimacy, like just very connected. There's like definitely this element of like just deep connection and just like, yeah, like acting like it might be the last time that you guys ever get to connect, ever get to kiss. Potentially you might be in a situation where that's actually true, or maybe just this person just wants to kind of convey that passion, like it's the last time they'll ever get to do it. We also have this part of fortune energy, and this is like very like fortunate, very lucky, very abundant. It's just like a big kind of like blessing energy. So I would say they're like really imagining like, I'm not getting selfish at all vibes from this person. Like, I think this person seems to just like want to give. Like, the sixth house is definitely more of a service kind of energy, much more of a giving energy. So yeah, it seems like this person's just like imagining doing a lot of giving, maybe not necessarily a lot of receiving, but just like, yeah, they really want to show this kind of like love and passion, it seems. But we'll get some more messages about maybe some more things that they're either fantasizing about, or like why they're having these fantasies potentially. So this person's fantasizing about like deeply connecting, deeply making love with y'all, because potentially you're like the first time this person has felt this specific way in a really long time. Potentially they've been in a connection in the past where they really had their heart broken, and they've kind of been carrying around this like pain, this karma from this past relationship, this attachment to this past relationship for a long time. And yeah, they've just been like really hurt, carrying around a lot of hurt. And yeah, kind of feeling weighed down by something that maybe they feel like they should have let go of a long time ago. They feel like they should have been able to move on, find love again, find that intimacy with someone else. But that wasn't the case. But I think they potentially were just getting kind of clear on what they were manifesting, and potentially it kind of feels like you're a bit of a dream come true coming in with this Ace of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Four of Wands energy. Like, this is definitely giving like my dream person, this person I can see myself marrying, this person I can see myself being with for a long time. kind of energy coming through. And yeah, potentially it was very unexpected, and maybe they really just didn't think they were going to feel this way again, that they were going this like kind of contentment was possible potentially. Like they had a very intense spiritual connection with their last person, and they feel like potentially this connection's even more so. Like they feel like potentially they've been with you maybe in a past life, or there's been some sort of connection to you in some way in the past, that yeah, almost like instantly when the two of you reconnected, it was like kind of maybe all the past pains were cleared and they felt kind of like whole and complete again. And that's where all of this like really loving energy is coming from. It's come from this place of like enduring deep pain, deep sadness, deep kind of like loneliness, solitude, deep like maybe isolation, feeling like yeah, just very disconnected. And yeah, now they're feeling really connected to someone, maybe really attached to you, in a way that they thought they'd never feel again. But I think this is them feeling like even 10 times more than what they thought they could feel. Like it just feels like a lot. It seems like this person's like really feeling a lot, and I think they're still kind of like opening themselves up to these feelings. And I think one of the ways that they're going to like maybe feel more comfortable expressing those feelings is in a physical way. Yeah, I think maybe they don't know how to communicate how they're feeling, especially with this Page of Swords in reverse, but they're definitely feeling a lot, and I think they think they'll communicate their intent a lot better sexually than like through their action rather than in their words. And so I think that's where a lot of this desire for a physical relationship is coming from as well, like kind of really wanting to show you how they feel. This is pretty cute, y'all, to be honest. If we get anything else that we need to know, anything else that pile 2s peeps should know about this connection? Okay, so this is definitely a very powerful connection between the two of y'all. I think it will take a little bit of time to kind of for the two of you to like really connect, because yeah, it seems like this person has been carrying around pain from the past. So the two of you are probably going to have to take the opportunity to like really watch how the two of you are reacting with each other, what's coming up, because yeah, there definitely feels like a big spiritual element of this connection. So yeah, there can be some like reflection process between each other, like mirroring stuff to each other. Maybe stuff from their past will come up. Butterflies are always like good signs of healing, so potentially the two of you will initially connect and like really be focused on like kind of healing together, and this is why you guys kind of need to maybe take it slow. But yeah, a win-win outcome is forecast, most likely relational, just based on we've got double Libra energy. And yeah, just surrender to the divine process and timing, because that seems to be an important part of all this. Can we get any final affirmations for pile 2, please? So we have the universe and my inner self are harmoniously balanced, and I would say potentially you and this person are also very harmoniously balanced as well. So yeah, I think you need to trust in that, trust in the connection, just like yeah, really allow, really surrender, and just chill. But yeah, what a cute reading. This is so cute for you guys. I love this for y'all. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. Thank you so much for making it all the way through. I really appreciate it. I would love if you can like, comment if you have the capacity to do so, and also subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this on your feed. And until we see each other again, ciao. Hey there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. I hope you enjoyed the ambiance. The rain came in very quickly, so yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a moody vibe for you guys, but I kind of love that for y'all. So we're first gonna start with finding out who is potentially fantasizing about y'all. We're gonna get some descriptions. Can we please find out who's fantasizing about pile 3, please? Get some descriptions about who might be fantasizing about pile 3, please. Okay, so pile 3, someone or someones who might be fantasizing about y'all might be quite loyal, kind, may have very darkish blonde hair, maybe like a fair brunette or dark blonde-ish area, maybe quite curious, hair maybe like medium-ish length. This person might be a really good guide, prophet, or teacher. So this is like someone who can yeah, like kind of get people on board, get them on the same wavelength as them fairly easily. Might have an extroverted side, might be quite open, potentially very open-minded. Their nose may be quite thin, eyebrows may be quite sculpted, maybe fairly goal-orientated. Once they get their mind on something, they achieve it. May have a buttonish shape to their thin nose. Conscientious, cares about other people. Visionary, so they got the vision, and they may be fairly fair-skinned. Could we please have some general themes about what this person is fantasizing about? Could we please have this person definitely likes dirty talk. We've got Mercury, air element, and Mercury retrograde coming out. So this person might be fantasizing a lot about maybe even talking about fantasies or sharing their fantasies or like things that they want to communicate about sex. I would say this person seems like fairly open about sex. They don't seem like super damaged about it with this Chiron energy and Sun energy coming out. Potentially they've always grown up with some sort of comfortability around sex and comfortability like talking about it. I think they definitely see it as very like fun, playful, pleasurable, like they're really into the pleasurable aspect of it and like maybe desire and fantasy and things like that. And I would say this person has a very spiritual element to sex and sexual role play with people with these 3 energies coming out. They're kind of giving, yeah, definitely very spiritual. The 4th house can be a very spiritual part of the chart. It's a very personal, private, spiritual part of the chart. So I'd say this person kind of treats it like a spiritual practice. Like I don't think they engage in it lightly at all. And so yeah, I think they are really fantasizing about sharing that with y'all, maybe playing together, maybe having like very tantric spiritual kind of connection between y'all. Maybe like even healing some stuff through the sexuality, which is fairly kind of common and easy to do, using our sexuality for healing. So yeah, this person might be really passionate about that. They might have learned a lot about it. They might even like do it very intentionally. It might be one of their kind of like hobbies or pastimes to learn more about this kind of like spiritual element of sexuality. There's kind of like a few kind of main hues that are coming out. So we've got a little bit of like sacral root chakra energy, also some heart chakra energy, and then like maybe some throat chakra, third eye energy seems to be all kind of the dominant energies coming through. So yeah, I think they really see sex in this way to connect heart to heart, like speak their truth, like express themselves, and yeah, explore their own sexuality, which is cute. I love that. But let's get maybe some more details about what this person fantasizes about, or why they're fantasizing about these things with you. Please. Thank you. These were like so ready to come out. Lots of uprights too. Tell us, can you clarify this Four of Cups energy, please? So sexual fantasies are on this person's mind about you a lot because this person potentially sees you as endgame. I think they might be quite charming, quite charismatic, maybe a bit of a player. They've had lots of options in the past. They've kind of really had a lot of people throwing themselves at them. They've definitely had a lot of people like just making lots of sexual offerings by the sounds of it, and just like very attracted to them. But I think this person felt like a lot of those connections were maybe a bit surface level, or people were trying to take something from them, or like had an idea of them, or just like this Seven of Swords can be about like taking, deception, betrayal, like just I just don't think the people from the past were kind of the right fit or had good intentions, and maybe made this person feel a little bit like, yeah, like alone or lost, or like something was missing. You can see on the Five of Cups artwork, this person's like kind of really sad just looking at this one thing that they're getting, and they're feeling like they're missing out on all this other stuff in the picture. So yeah, I feel like maybe it's been a while since this person has seen this potential with someone to have like such a full sex life with like lots of heart connection, lots of communication, lots of like sexual awakening, as well as lots of like third eye spiritual energies activate. And so I think you're very refreshing, which is maybe why they're fantasizing about you a lot in this way. Because yeah, they've had something super shallow before, but I think they see you as different. Like I think they see you as maybe more sexually like abundant, or just like secure in yourself, and maybe just like better intentioned. Like I think maybe you treat sexuality a similar way that this person does. The Empress is like very like she's very Venetian-y. She loves like pleasure, play, engaging in things for the fun of things, which is kind of what we were talking about earlier. And yeah, she's just like kind of super open. And so yeah, this person potentially feels like you might be end game for them because they might have found their match. The World card really is about closing chapters, and potentially this person feels like they might be able to close this kind of past in terms of having a bit surface level physical connections with others, because now they've got someone who's like, yeah, gonna maybe meet them where they're at. This Three of Pentacles can be like a very collaborative energy. I think they want to collaborate with you. Yeah, I just have a feeling that maybe a move hasn't been made yet with these two energies in reversal. I think they're taking this move very seriously towards you, so I think they're trying to make sure that none of this like kind of more fuckboyish energy comes out. So yeah, I think they're just gonna like make moves very wisely and intentionally. Do you have anything else to say about this, please? Is there anything else we need to know? Okay, this person sees you as very beautiful. Potentially they'd been in a bit of a dark place before they met you all, like maybe worrying that they'd never find anyone kind of to meet them on that level. And so I think they're really just like grappling with kind of having to get their head around like what they're seeing with this connection, and just like processing kind of something that they thought wasn't going to happen. But I think yeah, they've potentially been working on themselves a lot, and just like growing as a person, definitely growing as a lover this whole time. And yeah, like just this is lots of earth energy, so this is like working really hard on something. So it seems like they've been working hard on maybe not giving in to, or not like falling into temptation with this very easy kind of offering that keeps getting made to them. Maybe they've learned to kind of stand in their truth and integrity a lot more, and maybe some of this void and change was actually about them maybe needing that validation, but maybe now they're kind of growing past that and not needing that validation from people anymore, and understanding that maybe like kind of what's coming to mind is that song, like one good girl's worth 1,000 bitches. That seems to be the vibe. Like I think they're realizing that I don't think they were getting the validation that they thought they were getting from their past conquests, and now they're ready for something deeper. Could we please have an affirmation, please? Could we please have affirmation, please? Okay, so we have, I accept and release everything in my life that's beyond my power to change. So I think like there needs to be a little bit of letting go and just like allowing everything that's happening with this connection to happen as it happens. Maybe not trying to force it, and just trusting everything to play out how it's got to play out. Accepting things as they are, even if you kind of know where it's heading, it seems. It seems like, yeah, this person's gonna make a move at some point, so just being patient and just like, you don't have any control about when that move's going to be made, so just chill, be patient, like let it all happen and kind of you do you. But I think I'm going to leave that there. That feels like kind of enough to take away with for today. It's been a pleasure reading for y'all. I would love if you can like, comment and subscribe to support me on this channel, and until I see you again, ciao.